Hey guys, it's me, Fleetwood here, and as requested, I've I'm coming out with my build video here, and this is my 6'9" uh, pure shot creator, small forward, 6'9", 205, 90-inch wingspan. I think it's like 90.2 or 90.5 or something. It's basically two notches up from whatever the default wingspan is. Um, I'll explain everything, why I chose all those specific measurements for my character, and but first I want to give you a little explanation about things that you want to know before you're like making your character, or like if you haven't played this game yet, just things that you're going to need to know about this game in general, and just things that I've seen so far. I play a lot of Rec League. I don't play a whole lot of Park, but I played a few games, and but like I play a lot of Rec League, so I know the online what's going on like online right now as far as 5-on-5. Um, and I'm just going to give you some pointers on like what kinds of things you want to know as a player, or like as a player builder, before you make your build. So the first thing is positions, and positions are completely different this year. Uh, every position is going to have different badge loadouts, even if you like have the same archetype for that position. So that's one thing you're going to have to really look at, is what are the badges you're looking for, because whatever your playstyle is, you may want to play a certain position to play more according to like how like your play style is, like your gamer style or your basketball style is. Um, and I'm going to give you a heads up. I think the best position this year, as far as like dominant players go, is the power forward position, and I've seen like all types of power forward builds just be like amazing this year, and that goes from like, if you want to make a pure stretch four, or even like just like a pure rim protector, like all of those builds are much better than they were before, and they are better at the four than they are at the five. Um, this year, it's kind of like last year as far as the way lockdown defenders go. So your defensive anchor badge only drops the offensive badges of similarly positioned players. So if you are a um, if you are a small forward lockdown defender, your defensive stopper badge will drop badges for shooting guards, small forwards, and power forwards. So that is one thing that you want to keep in mind if you are making like a lockdown defender or a defensive archetype of some kind. Um, your defensive anchor, or your defensive stopper badge, sorry, will only work for similarly positioned players. So um, if that's the case, then in my opinion, the two best positions for lockdown defenders this year are the shooting guard and the power forward. So if you are considering a lockdown, try to keep it, I think, within the like 2, 3, 4 positions, and I think you'll find that your build is going to be pretty good. As far as big men go, I think really the glass cleaner is one of the best big positions. They really did nerf the stretch five this year, so you don't really want to be shooting too much at the five position. You want to be more, I think, grabbing rebounds and fighting for position down low in the low post. Post scorer is also pretty good this year because strength, once again, is a thing, and keeping your guy out of the post, keeping yourself in the post as well, as those are going to be very important things for the big man, specifically for the five. The four can play pretty much anywhere. In my opinion, the best for archetype this year is the shot creating stretch four, and like I'm gonna tell you guys, this guy can knock down shots. The shot creating stretch 4 is a great build if you are a shooter. Um, and the reason I think that that is a build that a lot of teams are gonna want to look at is because when you're playing at the 4, I mean, you're cutting a lot of your speed already because you're playing a bigger position, and bigger guys are slower this year. I mean, bigger guys are always slower than smaller guys. So, um, what I've seen really works well is at your point guard and shooting guard, stacking your speed because those guys are going to be fast as it is. And if you can max out their speed, they can deal with a lot of your transition defense. You do not need to be like super big to stop a big in transition this year. Just getting in the way of guys is enough with any kind of player. So like even this guy at 6'9", 205, he could stop like a 7'3", as long as he has good position on him. The same goes for shooting. If you are up on a guy, doesn't really matter what size he is. If you have a good contest, you can stop him from shooting over you. There are certain situations, if you are late getting back, then he could shoot like right over you. And obviously, it is very hard to contest a moving shot rather than it is to contest a standing shot. So just keep that in mind as well. If you are a sharpshooter, your windows of opportunity are going to be somewhat slim because of the fact that people are going to be running back on you and getting those contests. So, so getting to my build here. So yeah, so I didn't go like, a smaller wingspan or like a standard wingspan, which is the trend for a lot of shooters, because it does make your open shot and your moving shot better. But what I found is that actually, if you put it 2 notches up, you only get 1 hit to your moving shot, which is it's not that big of a deal because already you're a great moving shooter, right? So you really don't need that 1 point, and the extra 2 notches to your wingspan really do help with your defense, because you can tip a lot of passes, get a lot of steals, and your contest is better, and your block shots are better, and you can get more rebounds as well, especially if you make him 6'9". And then I made him 205 because you really don't need like a lot of weight on a shot creator. You really do want the speed over that, but you don't want to make him like the lightest possible. The lightest at 6'9" is 200, and I made my guy 205, which is like 5 pounds heavier, and you'll know because it's the heaviest of the Brandon Ingram weight class. So they show you like the weight classes of your builds when you're building it, and I think the standards like Ben Simmons at like 235, and then you can go down to Aaron Gordon, which is like 206 to 225, I think, and 205 and under is the Brandon Ingram class. And basically I want the heaviest of the Brandon Ingram class. So basically, and that's just not to knock my strength too much, because as it is, shot creators do not get a lot of strength, but they don't need it in the first place. Like, you don't need to really body guys up. Your post play mostly comes out of like spins and fadeaway jumpers, so you don't really need too much strength. You actually do not need to drive a lot with this archetype. He is good at driving, but that's really not his strength. His strength is the mid-range shooting, and even his three-point shooting as well, like especially his three-point shooting off the dribble. But he's definitely a better three-point shooter this year than he was last year. But keep in mind that you are a shot creator. You're not a sharpshooter with this build. You do not want to just spot up and shoot like standing jumpers. You want to move, and you want to like get shots off the dribble. Another thing is before you shoot, you want to hit like one or two dribble moves, and it's going to, what that does is it generally creates a higher percentage on shots that you take, especially things like if you're doing like a pull-up jumper or something from the mid-range. Um, and you can even pop out of rhythm dribbles and size up combinations. So so that's one of the things that you have to kind of keep in mind with a shot creator is you're better when you're dribbling, but you can act as a catch and shoot player, but you don't want to always do that. You want to mix it up with what like how you go about beating the defense. And that's one of the biggest things actually is I noticed the more you mix it up, the higher percentage you become as a player. So that's definitely what you want to look at. Now I'm going to show you some of my stats here and my badges, and I'm going to tell you some things that are really important when you're building a shot creator. So I'm at 91 overall here. So the first thing I want to say is the ball control. So to get this 70 ball control, which will give you the pro dribble animations, you'll get that halfway between 90 and 91 overall. So after you get to 90 overall, your next cap breaker will be the 70 ball control. That's just something to think about if you're going to build a 6'9" shot creator, because you will have to grind a little bit to get that 70 ball control and those pro dribble animations. Another thing is when you're building your shot creator, if you're like putting VC into your guy right away, do not put it into stamina yet, right? And yeah, your guy's gonna suck for like the first month or so of playing with him, because he's not gonna be able to do much without any stamina. He's not going to be able to dribble very well without any stamina, but he will still be able to make shots, and that's the most important thing, because one of the things that you really want to focus on with the shot creator is grinding out your badges. And tireless score, as you can see, I have Hall of Fame, and that's how I got it, is by not increasing my stamina until I've pretty much grinded it out. I also worked on, as you can see, there's the fatigue finishing drill in the practice facility, which you can use, and it's pretty easy to grind this out. And I really do suggest grinding it out, because stamina is a big thing this year, and I really do feel that tireless score is going to be one of the better badges to have for sure as a shooter. Yeah, and then difficult shots, obviously, you'll probably get that to Hall of Fame around when you get your 70 ball control and your tireless score Hall of Fame. So those two are the staple badges of the shot creator, and they should be your primary focus when you're badge grinding. Yeah, and then so like you also get mid-range Deadeye Hall of Fame and Teardropper Hall of Fame. I only have those on silver right now. You get up and under specialist on gold, which is surprising because that's a post-score badge. And check out all these silvers you get. You get free throw ace, quick reflexes, limitless range, relentless finisher, corner specialist, ankle breaker, one-man fast break, deep range Deadeye, catch and shoot. You get acrobat on gold as well. You get a bunch of bronze as well. And then these two are also silver, so lob steady finisher, drop stepper. And then yeah, you get all these bronze badges as well: the post spin technician, defensive stopper, charge card, posterizer, lob city passer, dimer, putback king, flashy passer, and the blue badges. You're probably not like it's gonna be kind of like difficult to grind out alpha dog, because you're not gonna get the most rebounds and probably not the most assists in most games. You're going to be a scorer, but you do need to get this clutch performer badge for sure. However, you do it to grind out that badge, whether it be park, rec center, or just doing it in my career. It's up to you, but you do need that badge. Yeah, and other than that, like make sure your animations are good. Make sure you have good dribble animations. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to sauce guys like a shot creator should. And yeah, fill out your layups and dunks. For my layup package, I like to go with the long athlete one, and I think it's, you know, because I'm a 6'9", probably a pretty good one because it gets right up to the rim there. And for the dunks package, it really depends on what your taste is for dunks. I just go with all the ones that I like that you don't get like all of them. You're not gonna get like all the like Vince Carter, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan dunk packages this year, but you'll get enough dunking, don't worry, and you'll get enough dunks with a character like this. And make sure your size up, like you have good size ups, because those size ups are really important to like throw your defender off, and find space for your open J's and whatever. And then yeah, and like make sure. So when I choose a size up, I go with one that kind of like brings me forward and then brings me back, and so I can take a 3-point shot right out of it. And then make sure you also have your good size up package. So and your size up package is just going to affect like your crossovers and your like step backs, right? And those step backs are key because you can basically pop threes out of them this year. And you see, like, you step back and you can green light it. And even if you don't green light it, like if you have a good release, you'll get it in. And then you can combo the size up with like a step back and then also pop it like that. So yeah, so this guy's got moves this year, and there's a lot of different ways to sauce guys, and you know, get yours with the shot creator. And probably as you saw on the stats category, like you get good post with this character as well. You get I think my post is 78 right now, and he still has like another like 3 notches to go on that. So your post scoring will be really good as well this year. So those post fadeaways, do not hesitate to try them because they're really good. And if you're taller than your defender, bigger than your defender, and faster than your defender, then post is one of the automatic ways of scoring, in my opinion, this year. So yeah, and they like, so everything that you do this year, there's going to be a trade-off. Being this good offensively means obviously you're not going to be amazing defensively. You'll be still good because if you can play defense, like I've found that I've not had any problems really with defense this year, but you won't be like as athletic as like a lockdown or a slasher or anything like that, but you will probably be more deadly than either of those on the offensive end. And you can actually jump pretty high with this build, surprisingly. That is, I think, one of the benefits, and the rebounding actually is surprisingly good too. So he really does feel like a little bit more of like an inside version of a Sharp with like really good ball handling, and that's what the shot creator is this year. But he's kind of different from the Sharp, obviously, because you need to use those moves to sort of like proc your bonuses, your shot bonuses and stuff. So, but if you do know how to use those moves, it's you know, I think the shot creator is definitely one of the premier builds this year. And yeah, like use your my court to practice out your moves. It can get, yeah, you probably think it's boring or whatever, but it's pretty important to know how your character plays and how your character moves without any defense, so that you know when something's off, like, because that's when guys are obviously on you and you don't have an opening. Yeah, so that's my video, and I hope you like it, and I hope you like this build. This is more of like a pro-am build. If you're gonna build a shot creator for like Park, you probably want to make him like 6'1" or 6'2", because you'll be faster, you'll be better with the ball. you have like better dribbles and whatever. Um, but being 6'1", 6'2", you are not gonna be great as far as like defensively stealing the ball and getting tipped passes. And that is one of the key things in Pro-Am this year is if you have height, then you're a legit build because you can basically get steals off passes. That's basically like how the game is being played this year is everybody's stealing passes and like getting in pass lanes, getting close to their guy and cutting the pass before it comes. Um, and yeah, if you can do that, then you're going to be good in Pro-Am. So that's why you want length is for specifically the 5-on-5 situations. That's why I went 6'9", and but like I said, if you want to just play park, I suggest a smaller one. I suggest like 6'1", 6'2", um, probably no more than 6'6". You could go 6'7", but I think that like to be honest, I don't think you need more than 6'6". In park situations, and that's just my take on it. You Everyone has their opinions, and I respect that. So I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy.